Welcome to Beauty in Stories. This is a space where short, meaningful tales invite us to explore life's deep lessons and the beauty of emotions. Each story becomes a journey to listen, reflect, and rediscover values that are often overlooked in the busyness of life. Join us as we uncover inspiration, joy, and connection in these stories every day. And now, let's dive into today's story, The Soldier's Return, Shadows of Memory. On a September afternoon, as the last rays of sunlight stretched across the heather-covered hills of Yorkshire, a young soldier stepped off an old, weathered train. On his shoulder was a faded backpack, heavy with the weight of years gone by. And in his heart, he carried burdens that words could never fully convey. William, that was his name, had been away from home for nearly 4 years. The distant battles had not only stolen his youth but had also taken parts of his body. A missing arm and leg now marked him, not just physically but also emotionally. Yet, the greatest pain he bore was not his injuries but the relentless question that echoed in his mind: would his family still recognize him? Still love him? After all this time? As he reached the familiar path leading home, William stopped under the shade of an old oak tree, a place where he used to sit and read during summer afternoons. He hesitated, then pulled a small phone from his pocket and dialed home. The ringing stretched out, long and unending, until his mother's gentle voice finally answered, warm as the summer breeze.
William? Is that you? Oh, my heavens! Thank God! My dear boy, where are you? Come home right away. Your father and I have missed you so much.
A faint smile crossed his lips as he replied,
Mother, I'm on my way home, but I have a friend with me. I hope you and Father will welcome them as part of the family.
His mother's voice, full of excitement, answered quickly,
A friend? How wonderful! We'll prepare a fine dinner for you both.
But William paused for a moment before continuing.
Mother, my friend isn't like most people. They've lost an arm and a leg. I hope that won't be too difficult for you and Father.
An uneasy silence followed. Finally, his mother spoke again, her voice hesitant.
William, I understand, but perhaps it would be better for your friend to find a place with professional care. Surely, they'd be more comfortable in such an environment.
William fell silent, his eyes heavy with emotion. Without another word, he ended the call and continued walking under the fading light of the evening. 4 years had passed, but his family's old house still stood there, with its white picket fence and swaying apple trees. Yet now, it no longer felt like the place he belonged. William lingered outside the gate, his heart a turbulent mix of emotions. Memories flooded back, of his father lifting him onto his shoulders to pick apples, of his mother mending the tears in his favorite shirt. But he was no longer that child. The wounds of war had transformed him into someone else, a stranger. Even on the soil where he had grown up, he decided not to enter the gate. William stood there for a long time before turning away, leaving behind the last glimmers of daylight and the house where memory and reality could no longer reconcile. 2 weeks later, a letter arrived at William's family home. The postman, a silver-haired gentleman, stood quietly at the door. When William's mother opened it, the man handed her the envelope with a solemn expression.
Ma'am, I received this letter from young William. He said he won't be returning home, but he asked me to give this to you.
Her hands trembled as she opened the letter, revealing William's handwriting, shaky but heartfelt.
Dear Mother and Father, I used to believe that home was the one place I could always return to, no matter how much I had changed. But now I realized that what I was searching for wasn't just a house, but acceptance. My body may no longer be whole, but my heart still holds the same love for you both. I've found a place where I belong, where people see me not for what I've lost but for who I truly am. I hope that someday you can see that too.
When his mother finished reading the letter, she broke into sobs, while his father stood silently, his gaze distant, fixed on the hills beyond. They both knew they had lost something precious, not because of war, but because they had not loved their son in the way he truly deserved. William's story is a poignant reminder that love is not about perfection or expectations but about acceptance and understanding. In life, the wounds we bear are often invisible to the eye, but they can be healed through the compassion of the heart. The hills of Yorkshire, wild and majestic, have borne witness to a story not just of loss but also of hope. For in the deepest solitude, every soul longs to be loved, even when they are no longer whole. Thank you for joining Beauty in Stories for today's tale. I hope these moments have brought you meaningful insights and inspiration. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you won't miss any upcoming stories. See you in the next one.
Goodbye!